Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Canyon View High School for game number 2 on day number 3 of the 2024 Hodson Cancer Classic between the Dixie Flyers boys basketball team and the Panguitch High Bobcats. I'm Ryan Forsey. I'll have the action for you this afternoon. Thanks so much again for joining us on FLYFAM.tv and our YouTube channel, wherever you may be watching it. Appreciate you making us a part of your Saturday afternoon. So as we've got a couple of minutes before the beginning of the game, maybe less than a few minutes, just talk about it really quick. The Flyers standing at 7-4, coming off a solid victory last night against the host school, Canyon View. Again, that final score was 52-39. The Flyers led by Tyson Forsey, 17 points and 5 3-pointers. They'll be playing the 11-2 Panguitch boys team. Now, this is a 1A powerhouse. They are the defending back-to-back state champions. They were undefeated until yesterday and the day before when they lost to 3A Carbon and 3A Canyon View. Canyon View beat them 50-42. Carbon beat them 61-51. So, regardless of classification, this could be a tough game for the Flyers. They definitely have the size advantage, although Panguitch does have some athletic, tall players. The Flyers should have the size advantage. So we'll see what happens, though. Game number 2 on day 2, or day 3, you're never quite sure. Again, the third game in 3 days for this Panguitch team. The second game in 2 days for the Flyers. And with a short turnaround after a late start last night of 8 o'clock, and then right now at 2 o'clock as Forsey drives, puts it up with the left hand and scores. As Forsey picking up where he left off last night, the first field goal for Dixie. Panguitch, long 3, hard off the rim. Here comes Weber quickly down the floor to the streaking J.J. Davey, has it knocked out of bounds. Dixie basketball. Into Davey. Davey with the pump fake. Turn around right hand too hard. Walter comes down with the rebound. Weber now clears to Carter. Carter drives. And then clears to Forsey. The Bobcats head coach, Clint Barney, 23 years as the head man for this program. And to say it's been a dominant run over the last 23 seasons is an understatement, as they have won multiple state championships, not just the last 2, but 5 or 6 of them. Carter hits a 3 in the corner. So this is a program that is run top to bottom very well. In the middle, ball's knocked away, taken away. Walter comes away with it. Here comes Carter and the Flyers all the way down to Davey with the 2-hand flush. Pulls up on the rim, and that's going to be a technical. Easy call for the officials as the coaches for Dixie looking at J.J. Davey going, why? So, and that's the second technical foul on dunking by the Flyers. So Davey whistled for the tee, which does count as a personal foul. The points do count. As Maddox Johnson goes 1 for 2 from the free throw line. So with it being a tournament, sometimes the tournament hosts do have rosters printed out. They did not have that, so I'll do my best to keep up with names for Panguitch best I can. As Berkeley Dalton swings over to Maddox. Maddox clears to Daxton Miller. Miller picked up by Forsey. Back to Maddox. 10 seconds on the shot clock. driving underneath. Got away with the travel and a jump ball called. So possession to the Falcons. Shot clock remaining at 7 seconds. Long three in the corner, too hard, rebound, Carter. Here comes Dixie. Ball's knocked away by Dalton. Flyer basketball. Carter over to Weber. Weber gets a screen from Davey. The ball moves around the perimeter. Now Carter. Now Forsey. To Walter. The Flyers patient. Weber drives into the paint all the way in with the right-hand layup. Scoop and score. Zed Weber. And a quick timeout called by Coach Barney and the Panguitch Bobcats. As the Flyers jumping out to a 9-1 lead, and it is a 30-second full timeout. So we'll take the full timeout as well back here after 60 seconds on FLYFAM.tv.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
And welcome back to the Falcons Nest here at Canyon View High School 2024 Hodson Cancer Classic. As the Flyers taking on Panguitch, a whistle and a foul as the Flyers tried to attempt the press. That's going to go against Kimball Carter, his first. So last night, if you were unable to watch or be here, the Flyers jumped out to a 19-2 lead in the first quarter against Canyon View, only to see Canyon View go on a 14-2 run and tie it up, almost going into halftime. The Flyers having a similar hot start here as Panguitch struggling to get things going offensively. Long three, short. A rebound right to Walter, who gives to Carter. Here comes Dixie. Carter over to Forsey. Forsey picked up by Miller. Forsey drives baseline, forcing the issue, a whistle and a foul. It's going to go against Daxton Miller, his first. Second team foul. Inbound over to Forsey. Quickly out to Carter. Now to Weber, over to Davey. Trying to get the ball down underneath. Forsey pumps the three and then clears. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Wanting to get the ball down to Walter. Walter gets to the cutting Davey. Davey with the left-handed layup, beautifully done. As Walter secured possession and found the streaking Davey down the lane for two. Miller. And picked up by Forsey, out to the high post. Back out to Daxton Miller. Now back out to Maddox. Maddox with the deep three. That's good. And again, quickly up the floor to Forsey. Forsey, no hesitation. Stop, pop, in and out, right to Davey, who catches it on the move, up and in. J.J. Davey. Davey quickly is 6 points. A dunk and two layups. And this Panguitch team, similar to Canyon View, as they like to shoot and move the ball and share the ball extremely well, as that is knocked down from a 14-foot angle shot. Losing the ball down the floor, the Flyers, a whistle and a foul. It's going to go against Tyler Walter, his first. fadeaway three, falling down, and here come the Bobcats. Forsey, the screen from Davey, drives in the lane, left-handed layup, up and in, beautiful move. And the screen assist by Davey. And another timeout called by Coach Barney and the Panguitch Bobcats. I believe that's going to be a 30-second timeout. It is, so we'll keep it here. So this Bobcat team, I'm going to go over some of their numbers. Again, trying to get some of their names and numbers down. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Be patient with me. But they are led by Daxton Miller, who's already up to 6 points. He averages 15 points a game. And then he's 14. Number 24, Remy Chappell at 12 points a game. Number 23, Maddox Johnson at 10 points a game. Number 0, Berkeley Dalton at just under 9 points a game. And then 34, Bridger Chappell at 8.5 points a game. So those are the leaders scoring-wise for this Panguitch team. Daxton Miller also the leading assist guy, and he handles most of the ball handling duties for this Bobcat team. Driving underneath, force up the layup, too hard, quickly to Forsey. Here come the Flyers. Mac Howard and Colin Simmons checking in for Dixie. As Howard momentarily loses it. Over to Simmons. Lob underneath to Davey. Davey had perfect position on the seal, puts it up, count it, he's fouled. Davey with the height and size advantage. That foul going against Bridger Chappell, his first, third team foul. As Davey makes the free throw. Oh, Davey with 9 points here in this first quarter. Having a solid start. It's good to see for the Flyer fans. Miller driving in on Carter. Shovel pass, back to Miller, corner three, too hard. Long rebound, back up, too hard off the backboard. Carter with the rebound, here comes Dixie, quickly up the floor. To Howard, down to Davey. Davey tried to hook pass to the streaking Simmons, but it's knocked away, taken away, goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Flyers. Dalton bringing the ball up for the Bobcats. Back to Dalton on the give and go. Underneath, behind the plane of the backboard. He's double teamed, cut off, but clears to the corner. Now back out to Maddox. Ten seconds on the shot clock. Underneath. Cleared back out. Dalton's going to have to shoot it. No, he clears to the corner. Ball's knocked away. Force up a desperation shot. No good. And the rebound to Simmons and a whistle and a foul against Panguitch. That's going to go against Remy Chappell. His first, fourth team foul. So under a minute to play here. Carter quickly to Forsey in the corner. He's going to drive. Lob underneath to Davey. Knocked away. Davey was hit in the face. No whistle. Here comes Panguitch. As the Flyers hustle back to get on defense. Baseline jumper, in and out, rebound, knocked out of bounds, last touch by Davey. So Panguitch with the opportunity to get the final shot, 31.8 seconds left on the clock. Back out to Johnson. Now to Chappell. Over to Maddox Johnson. Johnson steps in for a long two. No good. Rebound chased down by Carter. 15 seconds left. Plenty of time for the Flyers to come up with a final shot. They'll have possession to start the second quarter as well. Quickly underneath to the streaking Simmons. High off the glass. Give and go. Davey to Simmons. 2 seconds, one with the three-quarter court heave, no good. And that takes us to the end of the first quarter. The Flyers with a strong start, leading 20-9 here against the Panguitch Bobcats. We'll take a brief timeout and be back with the second quarter here on FlyFam.tv.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
5 letters.
Just think about, what am I doing right now?
Smile. Smile?
Uh-huh.
This is so easy.
Nobody likes to be stopped by the police, but if I'd seen her texting while driving and given her a ticket, it just might have saved her life.
And welcome back to the Falcons Nest here at Canyon View High School. Starting off with the second quarter of play, the Flyers leading 20-9, and a whistle. I don't believe the clock started. So an official timeout there to get things squared away. Thanks again so much for joining us wherever or however you are watching here on FlyFam.tv. As they wind the shot clock. Game clock started, shot clock did not, so that's what they're adjusting. So 5 seconds on the shot clock. So things queued up, and here we go to Forsey. Forsey gets a screen from Walter. Lob over the top, looking for the alley-oop, and it's there. Forsey to Walter. Coming out and starting off with some fireworks the second quarter are the Dixie Flyers leading 22-9. Ball's deflected, taken away by Forsey. Quickly down the floor, all the way to Kimball Carter with the left hand for the easy layup. And right out the gate, Flyers with 2 quick field goals. Panguitch really struggling to get anything going against the length and athleticism as a 16-foot jump shot, no good. Rebounds tapped around, fought for, brought down, pump fake, up and in. Good hustle play there. Quickly down the floor, all the way to the Zed Weber. Weber with the stop and pop 5-footer, no good. Too hard, rebound though, fought for, and Forsey brings it down. And the Flyers reset. Quickly bounce pass to Carter. It's knocked away and blocked. Simmons fighting for the rebound, up and in. Colin Simmons. Good hustle play there by the Flyers, able to keep things alive on the offensive possession and turn it into points. .16-foot jump shot there, good for the Bobcats. And almost taken away there by Dalton. Weber skips across to Carter. Now clears to Forsey. Back to Weber. Underneath the high post to Simmons. Simmons lobs down to Walter. Back to Weber. Weber drives the baseline. Clears to Forsey. Wide open three. Plenty of time. Lets it fly. In and out and back in. Forsey from Weber. Solid execution there by the Flyers. As 3 straight offensive possessions to begin the second quarter have resulted in points in the lead, 29-13. Miller almost passed it right out of bounds. Chappell comes down with it. Now to Johnson. Ball's knocked away, kicked away. Forsey almost had it, and it is kicked. As Forsey, looks like he took a shot to the face area, holding his throat a little bit. Seems to be okay. So Dixie with possession. Carter over to Forsey, now to Walter. Walter screening for Carter. Hammond Ashton checking in for the Flyers. Weber clears to Walter. Lobs underneath to Forsey on the backdoor cut with the right hand on the left side layup. Beautiful move. Pass and catch. Walter to Forsey. Johnson. Over to Miller. Now back to Johnson. To Dalton. Dalton being hounded and pressured by Weber. And a whistle and a jump ball. So possession saying it should be Dixie, but it should be white ball. It should be Panguitch. It should be Panguitch ball. They never switched the arrow. It should be white ball. Yep. And again, the Coach Robert stepping on the floor saying, no, it's white ball. We want to be, unless they called a jump on the kick. So officials are sorting things out at the table. I'm high above, up on the practice track, so I'm trying to figure out what's being said. I think the table is saying that they ruled it a jump ball on the kick. I think. Well, no, I'm not even sure. Now I'm not even sure as the ball is awarded to Panguitch. I think that's correct. I think that's correct. I mean, if we're going strictly by jump ball signals, Dixie started with it to start the quarter, so it should be Panguitch. The question was whether or not there was a jump ball called in between, which I did not see that. So we play on. A couple of substitutions for Panguitch. Chappell high at the three, pump fakes. He's going to drive on Walter, puts it up with the right hand, too hard. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Flyer basketball. I do not have a complete roster for Panguitch, so we're just going to have to do with some of the leaders and starters that I have names for and numbers. Ashton, bounce pass underneath the Walter. He has position, power dribble, fade, little push hook, no good. Tapped up, almost back in. Here comes Miller. And a whistle and a foul. It's going to go against Forsey. And probably not a bad foul in that situation. That's going to be Forsey's first foul and first team foul. Bobcats with 3 team fouls here in the second quarter. Coming up on 4 minutes to play, halfway through. As Johnson over to Miller. Miller drives on Ashton. Behind the backboard, shovel pass to Chappell, up and in. Nifty play there. Chappell able to put it up and in. Ashton to Weber. Quickly over to Carter. We're going to get the ball down to Davey. Weber will cast up a 3. That's good. Zed Weber. Weber coming off a solid performance last night. Took him a little while to get going against Canyon View, but had a very solid and strong second half last night. Dribble penetration to the paint. Clears back out. Chappell thought about the 3. Now to the corner. Long 3. Hard rebound. Tapped around, and Weber chases it down. Here come the Flyers. Ashton. Now over to Carter. Gets a screen from Davey. A little hesitation to Walter. Now to Weber. Weber peels off the screen. Into the paint. Carter dribbling into the paint. Back out. Weber wants another 3. Too hard. And rebound brought home by Miller. Here comes Miller. Quickly all the way down the floor. Whistle. He's fouled going up. He'll shoot 2. Oh, Dixie a little lax getting back on defense. And Daxton Miller was able to take advantage of it. He'll go to the line shooting 2. And makes the first. And Miller makes the second. Forsey checking back in for the Flyers. Quickly up the floor to Weber. Now back to Forsey as Carter takes a break on the bench. Forsey swings to Ashton. Now back to Walter. Walter steps back. Looked like he wanted to take a three. Div had an opportunity last night to take a three. And a whistle off ball, and it looks like a moving screen. That one's going to go against Ammon Ashton. His second, third team foul for the Flyers. As Coach Barney talking to the official saying that one of his players needs to be attended to. Looks like Chappell. Maybe a bloody finger, something. Yeah, wrapping up the finger, it looks like. And substitution for the Flyers as Ashton checks out and Mac Howard, the sophomore guard, checks in. And we're back to playing. Miller. Looking to get the ball down low and just holding it. Swings it around. Back to Miller. Now to Chappell. Back to Miller. Miller drives. Hands back. Long jumper, no good. Rebound though, whistle and a foul. That's going to go against Panguitch on the rebound. Not sure who that was on, as a host of Panguitch players were in the paint. But Dixie comes away with the ball. Howard now running point. Hands to Forsey. Forsey turns around and faces up. 15-foot fadeaway, no good. Walter high for the rebound, brings it down and goes out of bounds. Last touch by Panguitch. So Dixie with possession and a new shot clock as Forsey will set to pass it in. Quickly looking for cutters into Weber. Weber reverse peels, bounce pass under Walter. Walter with the reverse through contact, no whistle, gets his own rebound and puts it up and in. Tyler Walter. Walter with 4 points here in the first half. Underneath to Chappell. Chappell posts up, whistle, count it, he's fouled. As Chappell took the pass and turned quickly right up to the glass. And difficult to see what the foul was on. It was called on Davey as the three-point play is completed. 16-point lead for the Flyers. Quickly up the floor, here comes Forsey. Gets a screen, gets into the paint, back out, Weber. Looking for another three, that's short. A rebound, right back to Weber. Gets it. No look pass to Davey, up and in for the layup. Beautiful move. Zed Weber to chase it down and gave a no-look pass. Davey was right there ready for it. Miller. Hands back. Now back to Miller. Panguitch patient here. 10 seconds on the shot clock, though. Miller looking to get something going. Shovels back out. Back out. 3 seconds. Going to have to cast up the long three. That's good. Desperation. And it's answered. 22 seconds left here in the second quarter. Opening half of play. The Flyers will look to end on a high note with the final possession. They'll also start the second half with possession as well. 10 seconds. Forsey. Forsey drives. Lob over the top again. And another alley-oop by Walter. Quickly, 1 second. Heave at the buzzer, and that's going to take us to the first half. So that first half, outstanding by the Flyers as they lead 40-23, punctuated by a couple of dunks and a couple of alley-oop plays by J.J. Davey and Tyler Walter both. We're going to take a couple-minute break here on FlyFam.tv and be back with our SkyWest Airlines halftime show. Don't go anywhere, folks. Back after this.
There's nothing quite as awesome as aviation. At SkyWest every day, we safely and reliably connect people across North America, and together we do it better than anyone else. No matter the challenge or the headwind, the SkyWest ability to work together enables us to adapt better and faster. To secure the best opportunities and, most importantly, to take the best care of each other. I want to thank our people at SkyWest for your commitment to integrity, to teamwork, and to excellence. It's because of this collective commitment that there is no airline with a brighter future, and I couldn't be more proud to be a part of this outstanding team.
And welcome back to Canyon View High School, 2024 Hodson Cancer Classic, Day 3. This started on Thursday. Games Thursday, Friday, and then today, finishing today. Day number 2 for the Flyers, only playing 2 games out of the 3 days here in Cedar City. Thanks so much for joining us again on FlyFam.tv. Time for the SkyWest Airlines halftime show. And a little bit of symmetry here between last night's game against Canyon View and the afternoon matinee here against Panguitch, as the Flyers jumping out to a strong first quarter. The one difference is they didn't allow Panguitch to get back into it the second quarter like they let Canyon View get back into it last night. Unofficially, here's some stats for you. Let's start off with Panguitch. Leading scores for Panguitch is Daxton Miller with 6. And then Remy Chappell with 5. Neither team having really any foul trouble. Those are the only numbers I have, because again, I only have access to what's put up on the scoreboard. For the Flyers, though, Zed Weber with 5. Tyson Forsey with 9. J.J. Davey with 10. Tyler Walter with 6. And a couple others chipping in. Kimmel Carter with a basket. Colin Simmons with a basket. And again, a couple of highlight alley-oop dunks there for the Flyers for a solid first half. So now here's the challenge for Dixie. And again, throwing, just by way of mentioning, Dixie 4A, Panguitch 1A. And again, you never want to associate classifications from a coach's perspective. So if you're Coach Roberts, definitely want to make sure that your team comes back out and keeps up the intensity and execution. But again, solid way to start off as we're halfway through. And Dixie with a 17-point lead. Really taking advantage of their height, length, and athleticism, as they have gone inside consistently, but also stepped outside, as Forsey and Weber both with the 3 each. Carter, I believe, with the 3 as well. So far, so good for the Dixie Flyers. And just trying to find some numbers here, but I'm unsuccessful. So that'll probably be it as far as any kind of stats. Several Region 9 high schools are in action today. In addition to the Flyers, Hurricane will actually play tonight. They played Carbon yesterday and won by, I believe, 21 or 22. They'll play in the nightcap tonight against the host team, Canyon View. That should be a very good game. I believe, in my opinion, both those teams match up really quite well. And then you have Crimson Cliffs and Snow Canyon both participating in the Riverton Holiday Tournament up north. Snow Canyon lost yesterday. Crimson won. No scores as of yet from either of those games. But if I get some, I'll pass them along. For right now, thanks for joining us again on the SkyWest Airlines Halftime Show. We'll take another time out and then be back to talk about the second half and preview it, and also with the second half of play right here on FlyFam.tv. And welcome back to Canyon View High School here in the Falcons Nest. Final day of the 2024 Hodson Cancer Classic. Ryan Forsey with you. Thanks so much for joining me for the afternoon matinee between the Flyers and the Panguitch Bobcats. Flyers leading 40-23 right now. In a solid opening half of play led by J.J. Davey and Tyson Forsey. Davey with 10 points. Forsey with 9 points and a three-pointer. Forsey, 3 or 4 assists. 2 of those assists for sure coming on a couple alley-oops to Tyler Walter. Davey also having a breakaway dunk. Who was also then teed up for pulling up on the rim. So, maybe a little too excited for him. Looking ahead to the second half, though, if you're Dixie, just keep doing what you're doing. Again, limiting the interior offense by this Panguitch team. You have the size advantage, you have the length advantage. Use it. And if you're Panguitch, if you're Clint Barn, you got to be a little frustrated. There's really no offensive rhythm, very stagnant, not moving very well on or off the ball, as evidenced by 2 or 3 quick timeouts called by Coach Barney in that first half. And again, coming into this tournament, Panguitch was undefeated, 10-0, but losing their opening day to Canyon View and then yesterday to Carbon. And again, both Canyon View and Carbon, 3A schools. I believe Canyon View beat them by 8 or 9, and then Carbon beat them by 10, which is a little surprising. Carbon only with a couple of wins on the season. But again, sometimes that's how it goes. So Dixie will start with possession, start the second half. Same starters for both teams. Over to Forsey. Back out to Weber. Weber drives into the paint. Bounce pass underneath to Davey. And Davey is up, puts it up and in, and starts things off right where he left off. So good execution there coming out of the break for the Flyers. Panguitch coming away with a bucket there. Again, trying to get some names down for this Panguitch roster. I don't have quite the complete roster, so doing my best. It's a shovel pass back to Weber. Now to Carter. Picked up by Johnson. Carter going to drive. Clears out to Forsey. Forsey, the long 3. Too hard. Rebound. Tapped over, and a whistle and a foul. That's going to go against Walter. So Walter's second foul, first team foul. Well, Dalton brings the ball up the floor for Panguitch. Over to Johnson, now down to Miller. Miller drives in, pump fakes, up and in against Forsey. Good strong move there. Daxton Miller quickly down the floor to Walter. And hands it back to Carter, and the Flyers set up in their half-court offense. Forsey lobs it over the top to Walter, and a whistle and a foul. He's held on the roll. So that's going to go, I believe, against Daxton Miller, his third. Into Forsey. Plenty of time. Launches the 3. No good. Rebound tapped up and saved by Panguitch quickly. As Dalton holds it up and then now trots across the timeline. Over to Johnson. Now to Chappell. Out to the other Chappell. Now underneath. Little baseline shot, too hard. Rebound, tracked down by Walter. And then gives it to Carter. Carter out to Weber. Gets into the paint. Hesitation. Scoop with the right hand. Oh, just short. Nice move. Just couldn't quite get it over the rim. Quickly down the floor. Panguitch had the advantage but backed it out. Now underneath, the Chappell drives behind the plane of the backboard, falls, and throws the ball out of bounds. Dixie ball. Excuse me, not Chappell, that was Miller. The turnover to Panguitch. Forsey gets a screen from Davey, steps back, and then swings over to Walter. Now to Carter. Carter into the paint. Clears to Davey. Over to Weber. The Flyers looking to get something interior. Weber, a little 8-foot jump shot around the rim. No good. Oh, Dixie getting some good looks, just not quite capitalizing on them so far. Dalton good for 3. And Dalton on the board with his first field goal. So a little sign of life there for Panguitch. Now cut the lead to 12. Forsey hesitates for 3, drives all the way in, up with the right hand, and good as he's hits the deck, no whistle, no foul. So hopefully that stops the bleeding for the Flyers. Johnson. Oh, it's knocked away, taken away by Carter. Carter all the way in, unchallenged for the right-handed layup. The quick hands of Kimball Carter. Now down the floor, Weber almost knocks it out. He does knock it out. Heads up play there. As Panguitch trying to catch the Flyers off guard. Johnson lobs underneath Into Miller. Miller pump fakes, puts it up with the left hand. That's good. And Miller, the leading scorer for this Panguitch team. All the way down to Walter, streaking up and in for the easy layup. Heads up play as Carter found Walter all by himself down the middle of the floor. So back and forth we go, trading baskets. And Flyers extending pressure a little bit. And there's Chappell. And a whistle off ball. And that's going to go against Tyson Forsey. So his third team foul. Panguitch has yet to commit a foul. Quickly underneath to Miller. Miller backing in on Forsey. Fade away, twisting, jump shot, no good. Walter with the rebound, hands to Forsey. Here comes Dixie, quickly up the floor to Carter. Carter underneath to Davey with the left-handed layup. Beautifully done, transition, getting it done here for Dixie. As Walter and Davey both getting easy layups, running the floor. The ball's kicked by Carter. The lead back up to 18 for Dixie. Chappell. Between 24 and 34, both are brothers, Bridger and Remy. Remy is the one with the ball right now, looking for cutters. Bridger comes to the key, 3 seconds on the shot clock. Forces up a shot, no good, and a whistle, and that's going to be a shot clock violation as the ball never touched the iron. So just as we were wondering where the defense for Dixie went, and 3 straight stops has resulted in points as substitutions for Dixie as Mac Howard checks in along with Colin Simmons, replacing Walter and Weber. Carter. Lob over the top to Simmons. Simmons blocked by Chappell. Here comes Panguitch quickly up the floor, 5-on-4 advantage. Chappell too hard with the rebound, with the layup, and the rebound brought down by Simmons. Here comes Forsey. Lob underneath. Davey with the alley-oop layup. And as Forsey attacked the paint. Nice pass there. Davey leading all scorers right now with 16. Johnson driving into the paint with a little push shot. No good. Rebound tapped up. Davey had it knocked away before she tracks it down. Loses it momentarily. And the Flyers into the half court. Forsey, step back 3, too hard. Could tell right away. Rebound, tapped around, and Bobcats have it. Quickly up the floor. Dalton, underneath to Miller. Miller with the 12-foot baseline jump shot. That's good. Daxton Miller with the solid shot. Into double figures now with 12. Quickly, Simmons up the floor with the right-handed reverse, and he's fouled going in. So Colin Simmons will go to the line shooting 2. That's going to be Remy Chappell's second first team foul, as the junior forward shooting 2 makes the first. Trenton Verga checking in for Panguitch, number 20, 6'6". Junior forward, center. Simmons makes both free throws. And the lead up to 20 now. Largest lead of the game so far for the Flyers. 90 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Underneath, Verga, bounce pass to Chappell. Tried to get the reverse, and he's whistled and fouled by Simmons. So Remy Chappell going to the line, shooting 2, and makes the first. Unofficially, Chappell with 8 points. Several substitutions for Panguitch. As Chappell steps in, makes both. Quickly up the floor. Flyers getting into their set. Over to Howard. Around the perimeter. Howard drives baseline, peels back. Hands to Simmons. Simmons with the 15-foot jump shot, no good. And Panguitch under a minute to play here. Over to Miller. Miller wants to drive. Oh, swings it back around the perimeter. Miller with the straightaway three. In and out, no good. Gets his own rebound. Great hustle play. Nobody boxed him out. Able to get the offensive rebound and put it up and in. Quickly up the floor to Simmons. Carter pump fakes. Back to Simmons. Simmons up, under, scoop, whistle. He's fouled. He'll shoot two. So Colin Simmons, who just went 2 for 2 from the free throw line, steps up for another 2. As he tickles the twines. Substitutions for the Flyers is MJ Worth and Eli Christian checking in for Forsey and Davey. And Simmons makes the second, so 4 for 4, and he'll be subbed out by Ammon Ashton. Just under 29 seconds left here in the third quarter, as Panguitch will look to get the final possession, and they will start the fourth quarter with possession as well. Miller being picked up by Ashton. Miller, the lone bright spot, and he wants to score it. He's going to take it all the way and try to execute something. Hands to the corner, the long three. That's too long. Air ball right to Howard, who tried to lead to Ashton, but too long. And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter of play as Flyers maintain their lead, 56-38 after 3. We'll take a timeout and be back here from the Hodson Cancer Classic at Canyon View High.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. Hearst General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City. First Ace Hardware.
And welcome back to Canyon View High School as we are underway with the fourth quarter of play as Canyon View starts off possession with a misfire and the Flyers come away with it. Carter over to Christian. Christian almost dribbled it right out of bounds, but Howard able to save it. Carter all the way into the paint. Clears. Carter drives the baseline, tripped up, whistle, and he's fouled. So a new shot clock there for the Flyers as ball taken in. Ashton finds himself wide open, launches for three, and he hits. Ammon Ashton on the board for the varsity game. The junior forward. And 21-point lead here for the Flyers. As Panguitch really struggling to find anything outside of Miller, who gets into the paint, has it knocked away, taken away by Carter. Carter eases up, waiting for his teammates. Clears to Christian, and the Flyers are set in their half court. Howard, long three, no good. And Panguitch calmly bringing the ball up the floor. And a whistle and that foul against Howard. As 32 for Panguitch loses it, and Howard is fouled. A little too handsy. So it's going to be Howard's first team foul in the fourth quarter. As Zed Weber returns to the lineup, replacing Kimball Carter underneath. And a whistle, this one going against Christian as Chappell had position underneath the basket. And all Christian could do was foul him. Actually, probably a smart play, saving the layup. Into the corner. Long three, no good. Rebound, fought for, brought down by Johnson, puts it up and in. Miller. Daxton Miller, playing hard throughout, really has been the only offensive bright spot of this team with 14 points here in the contest. Weber, back to Ashton, wide open again for three, in and out. Quickly up the floor. Here comes Miller, driving all the way against Worth. Count it, he's fouled. Daxton Miller able to work his way into the paint without really any kind of resistance from the Flyer defense, and he'll go to the line with an opportunity for a three-point play. Official timeout now. I have heard some fans yelling at the scoreboard is incorrect. So they will verify. Still verifying. Panguitch is the designated home team, so they are responsible for providing a scorekeeper. And so they're verifying and now updating the scoreboard, 59-42. As both Coach Roberts and Coach Barney is sharing some words and a laugh at what is happening there at the scorer's table. Now back to action here as Miller makes the free throw. 18 points in the game for Miller. Weber all the way up the floor to Christian. Weber skips over to Ashton. Now back to Howard. Into the streaking Christian, all the way in for the uncontested left-handed layup. Breakdown in communication on defense there, as Christian was wide open and Ashton found him. Looking inside, trying to lob it over the top to Verga, and it's grabbed and a jump ball, and that's going to be possession to the Flyers. Verga with the height advantage, but the backside defense there closing in for the Flyers. So Weber brings it across midcourt to Howard, now to Christian. Back underneath to Howard, goes right through his hands and picked up by Virgo. Here comes the Bobcats. Underneath to Chappell. Chappell backing his way in. A little 7-foot push shot up and over the rim. Solid move there. Remy Chappell into double figures with 11 points. Ashton steps into a three. No good. Here comes Daxton Miller wanting to push the issue. Clears out. Now driving to the paint. Cut off by the defense. Knocked away and taken away. Here comes Weber. Weber all the way in for the easy layup. And a timeout called by Coach Roberts. 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. Wanting to discuss something with the lineup on the floor. At this point, it appears the game well in hand on the part of the Flyers. Oh, actually changed to a full timeout. All right, we'll take the full timeout as well. Back after this on FlyFam.tv.
This is Dr. Burke with Burke & Beckstrom Orthodontics. Inside each of us is a desire to be our best self, but sometimes we need a little push. We need that voice telling us to keep going. We need that encouragement and that assurance that we're moving forward and improving. This could not be more true than when it comes to our appearance and our smile. So much of our confidence is based on the way we're perceived by others. With a great smile comes a significant boost in self-esteem and self-worth. At Burke & Beckstrom Orthodontics, our mission is to encourage you and help you take an active role in improving your life. We want to build you up, grow your confidence, and help you move forward. Live your best life. Be the best you. Visit our website today, burkeandbeckstromortho.com, to see how you can smile forward with Burke & Beckstrom Orthodontics.
And welcome back to Canyon View High School. Ryan Forsey with you on FlyFam.tv. Flyers with a comfortable lead here. Halfway through the fourth quarter of play, leading 63-45. As Miller clears out, and a whistle and a foul. As Berkeley Dalton able to take a pass from Miller, get into the paint, puts up the layup, and an opportunity to complete the three-point play. No starters in for the Flyers. For Panguitch, looks like four of the 5 starters are still in the game. Zach Jensen getting into the varsity game, quickly up the floor to Christian, and a whistle and away from play. Not sure what's going on or what happened. So okay, we play on. So Jensen, Mac Howard, Ammon Ashton, Eli Christian, and MJ Worth for the Flyers. Ashton drives, clears out to Worth. Corner 3, wide open, too hard. Rebound to Jensen, though. Air ball, shot clock doesn't reset, but a whistle and a foul, and that's going to go against Panguitch. So fresh shot clock for the Flyers. As Jensen into Worth. Over to Howard. Howard's going to drive, gets by his man in for the easy layup. Mac Howard on the board now. Chappell backing in his way in on Worth. Puts it too hard up with the left hand. Johnson got away with a shove on Ashton. Misses the layup, shoves him away again, gets the offensive rebound, and puts it up and in. As Daxton Miller bullying his way through multiple Flyers as Ashton caught the brunt of it. And no whistle, no foul, and a timeout called by Coach Barney. 30-second timeout, we'll keep it here. So 15-point lead for the Flyers. At the conclusion of the game, we'll have take a timeout, show some commercials, thank our sponsors, and then have our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast post-game show. And a shout out to Jimmy John's and their sponsorship and support of Dixie Flyers boys basketball. Talk about today's game, maybe have some numbers if I can. I'll try to. If not, we'll preview the upcoming contest against the Flyers and Cedar Reds next Thursday. So as Region 9 play picks back up after the holiday break, that game will be played at Dixie High as the Flyers renew their rivalry with the Reds of Cedar High. Jensen bringing the ball up, swings to Howard. Back to Jensen, now Ashton as the Flyers bring the ball around the perimeter. Christian. Jensen now looking for cutters to Worth. Back to Christian. Now to Ashton. Ashton hesitates, drives into the paint, puts it up with the left hand. Count. Good move there by the junior forward, taking the contact and able to convert on the layup. Underneath, Trying to get it down to the other chapel, Bridger Chapel, and he's fouled by MJ Worth. That's going to be Worth's second personal. 5th team foul, so Chapel shooting 2. Makes the first. And substitutions for the Flyers as the bench now being emptied, as Ammon Ashton and Mac Howard will have a seat, being replaced by Landon Beckstrom and Jackson Winters. Chapel missing the rebound, and Winters coming down with it. 2 minutes to play here in the game, as all 5 starters in the game for Panguitch. Underneath, a give and go on the pick and roll, and MJ Worth puts the layup in for 2. An 18-point lead now for Dixie. Underneath, Chapel backing his way in, up with the right hand, too hard, rebound, right back down to Miller, who puts it up and in, and Miller across the 20 mark now with 23 points. Beckstrom clears to Worth. Christian over to Worth. Jensen driving the baseline, peels back. Worth has the open 3, takes it, no good. Rebound too hard, but Worth able to knock it away, and it's taken back by the Flyers. 60 seconds left to play. Christian to Winters, now to Beckstrom. Beckstrom's going to drive, and a whistle and a foul. So it'll be Flyer basketball on the baseline. 50 seconds left to play. Ball is kicked, so we'll reset. Jensen lobs into Worth. Now right back to Jensen, and the Flyers reset in the half-court set. Jensen with the screen. Pick and roll to Worth on the left side. Rolls out. Quickly up the floor to Johnson. Johnson step back for the long 3. That's good. And Dixie will just probably get the ball across and dribble it out is my guess. Panguitch will probably oblige, and that's probably going to do it. 10 seconds left, and that's going to do it. So we'll take a brief timeout as soon as the final buzzer sounds, and we'll be back with our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast postgame show, and that's going to do it. So don't go anywhere, folks. Back after these brief messages here on FlyFam.tv, the final score 69-56, and we'll have our postgame show after these brief messages. And welcome back to Canyon View High School, as the score has now gone final. The Flyers coming away victorious over the Bobcats of Panguitch High, 69-56. I'm Ryan Forsey. Thanks again so much for joining us for today's matinee game and for sticking around for our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast postgame show. For Panguitch, they really didn't have much except Daxton Miller. And Daxton Miller finished unofficially with 23 points. And then he was followed by Remy Chappell, again, unofficial numbers, with 11. And that was about it. Other than that, for Coach Barney and his crew and coaches and players, disappointing weekend as they came in undefeated and then going 0-3 in this tournament. Again, losing to larger classification schools, 2 3A schools, and now Dixie a 4A. But for Coach Barney, a little frustrated with his team's effort and execution, no doubt, at the result. Now for the Flyers, again, a strong, solid start, getting out of the gates with a 9-1 lead and then building on that throughout the contest. As far unofficially numbers, trying to get some here. Davey had 14, I believe, unofficially. Forsey with 11 or 13. I can't quite tell. And then everybody else contributing. Weber with 5, 6 points. Walter with 8 points. Carter with 7 points. And then with a large enough lead, the Flyers were able to clear the bench and get some JV players in. And getting on the board, MJ Worth, Ammon Ashton. Colin Simmons also off the bench with some strong contributions to the Flyers. So a good weekend for Dixie as they go 2-0. Last night winning against host school Canyon View, and then today against Panguitch in what is the final tune-up. Preseason non-region games are all completed, and now it is straight on to Region 9 as the Flyers will host the Cedar Reds next Thursday, January 2nd at 7 p.m. in the hangar. As far as I know, we will have that game for you on FLYFAM.tv. If it does change, we'll try to get the word out. I don't think it will. I have not heard anything from some of our partners, Fan Sports Network or ESPN. But it is possible that they will take over. But if not, we'll have it for you. And I'll have that action at the hangar again Thursday the 2nd, 7 p.m. So again, thanks so much for joining me here. I'm going to pack things up and head back down to St. George. The final score from Canyon View and the Hodson Cancer Classic. Dixie 69, Panguitch 56. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you next Thursday in the hangar.